Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Baltimore, RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you know that the landscape of the AFC North is shifting. It's not just about who's winning or losing on Sundays anymore. It's about how teams are building their rosters for sustained success. And right now, the Baltimore Ravens might be on the verge of a game-changing move that could elevate them even further into the Super Bowl conversation. And believe me, what's happening behind the scenes is as intriguing as it is potentially historic. Rumors swirling around involve a blockbuster trade that could reshape the Ravens' secondary, and it's all centered around Denver's star cornerback, Patrick Surtain II. Let's dig into what makes this possibility so compelling. The Denver Broncos, currently sitting at a 5-6 record, are facing some serious challenges on defense. Their unit has been leaking points, giving up an average of 25, 8 points per game, a number that's far from what they envisioned when they started the season. Their cap situation isn't helping either, with around $10 million in available space, but a lot of that is tied up in pending personnel needs, especially on the offensive line. They're desperately looking to rebuild their wide receiver core and add some edge rushers, but their priority might be to shuffle their defensive pieces to get more immediate returns. Sources suggest that the Broncos could be open to trading Surtain II, a player who's been one of the league's most shut-down corners since he was drafted in 2021. Now, why would Denver do this? Well, their secondary coverage has been underperforming, and they're in need of a rebuild at multiple spots. According to some reports, Denver's management is eyeing a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft from the Ravens as a potential return. That's a steep price, but for Baltimore, it makes sense because Surtain is not just any corner. He's a true shutdown artist, a guy who can elevate the entire secondary. Now, if this trade happens, it's going to be a game-changer for the Ravens, no doubt. Let's break down what Surtain II brings to the table. Over his 5-year career, he's accumulated a ton of impressive stats: 180 solo tackles, 50 assists, 12 interceptions, and a PFF grade that averages close to 88.5. He's been a cornerstone in Denver's pass defense, allowing very limited yards after catch, and his coverage grades are elite, consistently around the high 80s and even pushing into the 90s in 2024. His ability to shadow top receivers like Jamar Chase or Devant Adams has made life miserable for opposing quarterbacks and their playmakers. On top of that, his big play suppression is exceptional, allowing only about 4 yards after catch per reception, and his rate of allowing big plays is extremely low, roughly 10 per game. What makes Surtain stand out even more is his consistency and durability. Since entering the league, he's avoided serious injuries, playing 11 games in 2025 with a solid PFF score of 85.2. His coverage impact isn't just about individual stats, it's about how he transforms the entire defense. Denver's pass rush with players like Dre'Mont Jones has been improving, and Surtain's presence allows them to be more aggressive up front, knowing they have a lockdown corner to back them up. His ability to shadow the opponent's best receiver and shut down their routes, especially in clutch moments, aligns perfectly with the Ravens' defensive philosophy. Baltimore's secondary has been a work in progress this season, especially after losing Majibuik to a season-ending neck injury and Brian's knee injury, which landed him on IR. Adding Surtain could be the final piece to solidify a top-tier defense that's already showing signs of improvement with the addition of Dre'Mont Jones, who's racked up 5 sacks in 9 games. This potential trade isn't just about adding a player. It's about elevating the entire Ravens' defense to elite status. With Surtain in the fold, Baltimore's secondary could become a true nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, especially in the playoffs. Imagine a defensive backfield featuring Surtain covering the top receiver, alongside Marlon Humphrey, who's been steady and reliable. The pairing of Surtain and Humphrey would be one of the best man-to-man duos in the league, providing Baltimore with a formidable front against the AFC's best passing attacks. It's not hard to see how this would boost their chances in big games, improving their interception totals, reducing big plays allowed, and overall making life miserable for quarterbacks looking to pick apart their secondary. And let's talk about the impact this could have on Baltimore's season trajectory. The Ravens are currently sitting at 6-5 after adding Dremont Jones, who's been a disruptive force with 4-5 sacks in 9 games. Their defense has been improving, but adding Certain could push them into that top-tier conversation, maybe even elevating their odds for a Super Bowl run. According to betting odds, Baltimore's chances of winning the title have already risen from plus 1,500 to plus 900, according to DraftKings, which is a significant jump. That's a reflection of how much the addition of a player like Certain could influence everything from game plans to postseason matchups. Now, some analysts are cautious, saying that Denver might be hesitant to give up such a valuable player unless they get a top-tier draft pick and address their needs on offense and the offensive line. But the sense in the league is that Denver is in a bit of a rebuild mode, and trading Certain could be part of that plan. They might be willing to part ways with him in exchange for a future asset that helps accelerate their rebuild, especially if they believe they can retool their secondary in the draft or through free agency. For Ravens fans, this potential move offers a glimpse into a future where Baltimore's defense becomes an impenetrable fortress, especially if they pair Certain with Humphrey, who's been a steadying presence for years. It's about creating a secondary that can lock down opponents in critical moments, forcing turnovers, and setting up the offense with better field position. Lamar Jackson would benefit tremendously from a secondary that's capable of generating turnovers and limiting big plays, allowing him to play with even more confidence and freedom. Plus, with the Ravens' offense already potent, a defense that can shut down the opponent's passing game could be the key to unlocking that elusive Super Bowl championship. Looking ahead, if this trade materializes, it would send shockwaves through the NFL. It would be a statement of intent from Baltimore, showing that they're committed to building a championship-caliber roster, not just for this season but for years to come. The addition of Certain would be a clear message. The Ravens are serious about defending their home turf and etching their name into NFL history once again. The AFC North, already one of the most competitive divisions, might just become even tougher for Baltimore's rivals, as they now face a secondary that's arguably the best in the league. All of this points to a fascinating stretch run for Baltimore. With the playoffs approaching, every game becomes more significant, and adding a player like Certain could be the difference in tight matchups. The Ravens are no strangers to aggressive moves to bolster their roster, and this could be their boldest yet. Fans are already dreaming about the possibilities. What if Lamar Jackson has more time to throw because Certain is shutting down the other team's top receiver? What if Baltimore's defense becomes a brick wall that opponents can't break through? The potential is exciting, and it's a testament to the team's ongoing quest for greatness. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Certain could be the missing piece that pushes Baltimore over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Ravens. Do you think Denver will actually pull the trigger on this trade? How would you feel about seeing Certain suit up in purple and black? I know many of you are already imagining that lockdown secondary and how it could transform the team's chances in the playoffs. Remember, this is a team that's been building for a Super Bowl run, and every move counts. So stay tuned, because I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and everything you need to stay in the loop about the Baltimore Ravens. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for our beloved team. Let's keep the passion alive, and as always, go Ravens.